Dear friends, good morning, friends. On a Sunday morning, to see so many of you, it really gives me immense pleasure. Emerald Publishers இன்னொரு book. It's a very, very proud occasion. In fact, we connected through our writings, but only very recently we met actually. She came down from Coimbatore. ஆனால் ரொம்ப நாளாக பழகின ஃபீலிங் ஷி இமீடியட்லி இன்ஸ்டன்ட்லி கனெக்டட் வித் மீ. அதுதான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். சில பேர் நம்ம டெய்லி பார்த்துட்டே இருப்போம், ஆனால் கூட பெரிய கனெக்டிவிட்டியே இருக்காது. ஆனால் சில பேரை எப்போவோ பார்த்துருப்போம், ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் பார்த்துருக்கலாம். பட் அந்த அந்த இன்ஸ்டன்ட் கனெக்டிவிட்டி கொடுக்கக்கூடிய கேப்பபிலிட்டி கொஞ்சம் பேருக்கு தான் இருக்கும். அந்த வகையில் ஐ ஷுட் டெல் அண்ட் அப்ரிஷியேட் லதா, பிகாஸ் த டைம் ஐ சா ஹர் ஏதோ ரொம்ப ரொம்ப வருஷமா பழகின அந்த ஃபீலிங்கை கொடுத்தாங்க. ஏன் ஒய் இஸ் திஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் அப்படின்னா தான், யார் அந்த மாதிரி நேரடியாக ஃபீலிங்ஸ் கொடுக்குறாங்களோ அவங்களால தான் புக் வழியாகவும் கனெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும். நேரில் பேசும்போது கூட இட்ஸ் வெரி ஈஸி. நீங்கள் இப்படியே மேலே பார்க்குறீங்க, இப்படி டைம் பார்க்குறீங்கன்னா, நம்ம ரொம்ப போர் அடிச்சிட்டோம் போட்டிருக்குன்னு வி கெட் அ க்ளூ, ரைட்? ஆனால் நீங்கள் புக்கு யார் வாங்குவாங்க, எங்கே படிப்பாங்கன்னே தெரியாது. எடுத்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேஜே பார்த்துட்டு மூடிட்டாங்கன்னா அதை விட ஒரு ஆத்தருக்குள்ள ஒரு இன்சல்ட் எதுவுமே இருக்க முடியாது. அப்போ அந்த கனெக்டிவிட்டி என்கேஜ்மெண்ட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். வி ஆல்வேஸ் சே தட் மோர் தென் தி மேட்டர், the manner in which a book is presented is very, very important. She brought out this lovely book, the poem collections, Strewn Petals of the Heart. என்ன ஒரு அருமையான அதுவே ஒரு கவிதையான ஒரு தலைப்பு. அந்த புத்தகத்தை இன்னைக்கு வெளியிடுறதுக்காக நமக்காக இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறாங்க. காசி ஐயர் வந்திருக்காங்க. அவர் இந்தியன் ரயில்வேஸில் ஒர்க் பண்ணாங்க. ரயில்வேஸ் இஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் அ ஃபேசினேட்டிங் ஒன் ஃபார் அஸ். இன்னைக்கு ஃப்ளைட்டில் போனாலும் கூட ரயிலில் போகிற அந்த ஒரு சந்தோஷம், ரயில் இஸ் ஆல்வேஸ் அ ஸ்டோரி. ஐ டோன்ட் ரிமெம்பர் ஹவு மெனி ஸ்டோரிஸ் ஃபார் ரிட்டன் இன் தமிழ் யூஸிங் ஏரோப்ளேன் ஆர் ஏர்போர்ட் ஸ்டேஜ். ஆனால் ட்ரெயின் வச்சு எழுதாத எந்த கதையுமே இல்லைன்னு சொல்ல முடியாத அளவுக்கு ரயில்வே ஸ்டேஷன் இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் அ பிக் ஸ்டோரி. உங்களுக்கு என்ன பொழுதுமே போகல அப்படின்னா, நான் எக்மோர் ஸ்டேஷனில் போய் உட்கார்ந்தாலே போதும், ஒரு 1 hour. அவ்வளோ சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கும். அப்படிதான் உட்காரணும்னு ஆசையாக இருக்குது. ஆனால் அதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது. அதோட ஒரு ப்ளஷர் எதுவுமே இல்லை. அந்த சில பேர் அவசர அவசரமாக ஓடுறது, சில பேர் ஒரு பரபரப்பு இருக்கிறது, எல்லாத்தோடைய ஒரு குரூர சந்தோஷம் தான் ட்ரெயின் போனோன்னு கடைசியாக ஒருத்தர் ஓடுவார் பின்னால். அது பார்க்கும்போது நமக்கு அது அவரு பாவம் எதுக்காக மிஸ் பண்ணுறாரோ தெரியாது. ஆனால் நமக்குள்ள ஒரு சின்ன குரூரம் இருக்கும், பிடிப்பானா பிடிக்க மாட்டானா அப்படின்னு. அந்த மாதிரி இந்தியன் ரயில்வேஸ்னும் போது நமக்கு எவ்வளோ ஒரு பெரிய பாரம்பரியம். அங்கே அதுலேருந்து நமக்கு வந்திருக்கிறாரு. வி வெல்கம் யூ ஹோல் ஹார்ட்டட்லி ஃபார் திஸ் ஃபங்க்ஷன் சார். He look very young, so you can guess his age. Such a அவ்வளோ அங்கே காரை விட்டு இறங்கும் போதே எனக்கு இவங்க சொன்ன இது வேற ஏஜ்னா, இது யார் இந்த சின்ன பையமா இருக்கிறாரு அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஃபீல் கொடுத்தாரு பாருங்க. அது அந்த அந்த இறங்கின வேகம் எல்லாமே பார்க்கும்போது we also get inspired. That is what today is very, very important. Everybody wants to have that healthy, wealthy life இல்லையா? அதுக்கு சார் போன்றவர் இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன். ஜாய், நான் நீங்கள் தான் அந்த புக்கை லான்ச் பண்ணுவாங்க, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காப்பி வாங்கின உடனே அவங்க முகத்தில் ஜாயே போயிடுச்சு. ஷி செட் ஐ ஆல்வேஸ் லைக் டு சிட் இன் த பேக். ஆக்சுவலாக நீங்கள் உட்கார இடத்த தான் அவங்க உட்காருவாங்க. ஷி யூஸ் டு கம் ஹியர் ரெகுலர்லி. ஷி ஆல்வேஸ் ப்ரிஃபர் டு சிட் அட் த லாஸ்ட் அண்ட் வாட்ச் ப்ரொசீடிங்ஸ். பட் நீ என்னை இப்படி பண்ணுறீங்களே அப்படின்னாங்க. பட் டெல் யூ, ஷி ஹெட்ஸ் அ வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் போர்ட்ஃபோலியோ இன் அ வெரி பாப்புலர் சேனல், பாலிமர் டிவி. நீங்கள் எல்லாம் பார்த்துருப்பீங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் பாலிமர் டிவி வி திங்க் சம்வாட் நியூட்ரல் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம். ஏன்னா எல்லாருமே தமிழ்நாட்டில் சேனல்ஸ் எல்லாமே அஃபிலியேட்டட் வித் பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது they are such a wonderful TV. But she, more than the channel or anything, she is such a loving person. Very, very recently, we brought out a poem collections. Yeah, I'll show you that book. She actually edited that book for Father Joe. Such a wonderful person, my good friend. She readily accepted to come this morning to receive the first copy, and she will definitely say a few words. Whatever that comes in her mind, then more than anything, the author, the proud author. She has chosen to release this book here. That is very important. She could have done it in Coimbatore. She could have done it elsewhere, but she wanted to do it in Chennai. So we are thankful to you. Welcome you also. Of course, it's your function, but still, I feel that I should welcome you to our place. And all of you, I may not know every one of your name, but all of you are somewhere or other connected with me. So welcome you all for this wonderful morning. And the Chennai Book Club, which they have started some months back, and they are doing extremely good work. My good friend, Assistant Professor Prem, and research scholar Joycey. So my appreciation and congratulations to them for doing good work. Keep it up. So we have come for a very, very important occasion, the launching of the book and saying by the words by Chief Guest. Thank you very much. All the best. Now it's a very important occasion that we will launch the book now.
He will speak a few words.
Yeah, book launch பண்ணிட்டு பேசட்டுமா? Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, நீங்க பேசுங்க.
Do you need this?
Yeah, this is for people watching from
Outside.
US,
Okay.
Australia, everywhere. Not for us actually. நீங்க பேசுறீங்க சார்.
பேசலாமா?
ஆமா.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. They brought it. இத ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிட்டு நீங்க பேசுங்க.
Yeah.
If you are comfortable, you can
First
sit and
release it.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah. நீங்க உட்கார்ந்துட்டு கூட பண்ணலாம் ஒன்றும்.
This one I will keep.
Yes. திருப்பி வச்சுக்கோங்க. எப்படி திருப்பிங்க சார்? So just minute, you just stand for
Okay, thank you.
One will do or?
No, all of you. Each one can, hold it. Yeah, that's fine. I think we need a much bigger round of applause for this. Thank you very much. Before sir presses, Joycey will introduce him to the other scanner.
Please.
Kasi Iyer, sir, he was a general manager in Railway India Technical and Economic Service. He was a professor in Railway Staff College. He was a deputy director in Research Design and Standards Organization. He was a part of High-Level Action Committee on Public Enterprises reporting to PM. He was an advisor in Bureau of Public Enterprises, Ministry of Finance, New Delhi. He was a member of committee in formulation of 8th five-year plan. He was a visiting fellow in Oxford University. He was a management consultant for World Bank, International Law Institute, Washington, D.C. He was a director on board of Mafiltel Exports. He is a life member of many professional and top institutional bodies. I will
Consultant for 18 countries. Wow.
I would request Kasi sir to say a few words.
He has his own recognition, his son-in-law.
Yes, என்னோட மதர் டங் தமிழ்னாலும் நான் தமிழில் பேசி பழக்கம் இல்லை. அதனால கொஞ்சம் இங்கிலீஷு நடுவில் தமிழ் வீட்டில் தான் பேசுகிற மாதிரியே பேசுகிறேன்னா அது எத்தனை பர்சன்ட் இங்கிலீஷ் இருக்கு எத்தனை பர்சன்ட் தமிழ் இருக்குங்கிறதெல்லாம் எக்ஸாக்டாக சொல்ல முடியாது. அப்பப்போ வேண்டியது மாதிரி இருக்கும் தெரிஞ்ச விஷயத்தை பற்றி. இங்கே எல்லாருக்கும் லதாவை தெரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்னா எனக்கு லதாவை ரொம்ப நாளாவே தெரியும். ஆனா ஒரே ஒரு விஷயம், நீங்கள்லாம் அவளோட ஜென்ரேஷன்ல அவளை தெரியும், எனக்கு அவளோட 2 ஜென்ரேஷன் முன்னால இருந்தே தெரியும், அவ்வளவுதான். ஐ நோ She is the daughter of Bhagavadeeswaran, who is a nephew of mine. More than a nephew, we were together in school and college together. So I know her father. He was employed in Calcutta. And now, of course, it is Kolkata or whatever it is, no longer Calcutta. But then it was Calcutta. I used to work uh, with the World Bank for a number of projects in Calcutta. So I used to visit Calcutta very often. And I used to spend a lot of time with Bhagavadeeswaran, that is Lata's father, in their house. So Lata was there first as a child, crawling along the. Then, of course, she was a schoolgirl, then a graduate, then finally a banker. She graduated with honors in commerce and accountancy and immediately joined the Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank. She worked there with in many capacities in several branches until finally she decided to retire voluntarily in 2011.
கிளம்பிட்டீங்களா?
Single-handedly,
ஏதாச்சும் சொல்லணுமா?
she managed and conducted her daughter's wedding in a grand manner, and I was one of the guests in that. Yes, I have seen her in many
விட்டுடலாமா?
ages and in many capacities as a wonderful person, delightful to know, very competent in her work, multifaceted. I thought I knew her well. Till the other day, when she asked me to release her book. That was when I realized that I did not know Lata at all. The Lata, the real Lata, the poet. I didn't know that she had any poetic capabilities. She had a wonderful collection of other capabilities that make for a very good, able, efficient, likable person. But poetry wasn't in my list of her capabilities. She said you should come and open. I said, I have worked in many capacities in many countries, talked about many subjects, but never in my life have I opened any book or anything like that. I have nothing to do with literature or books or opening books. So I said, why do you know? I don't know anything about it, nor am I a poet. I don't know poetry. Then she sent me a copy of the book. It was a surprise. Such a wonderful expression of emotions in a very sweet and select language. More than anything else, I liked the way she had arranged the poetry and catalogued it. A set of poems, each set of poems had a title. The first set, for example, was a bouquet of honeysuckle. I am a gardener myself. One of my main hobbies is gardening. But still, I did not understand why she put there honeysuckle. I didn't know what is the meaning of honeysuckle. So I opened the dictionary and I quote from the dictionary. Although honeysuckle flower has many different meanings through history, I am quoting, it is predominantly viewed as a symbol of happiness. It can be used to symbolize devotion, everlasting bonds, etc. That is the very first set of poems. And mostly it is about the happiness, the freedom of a young child. And all the poems are expressing in many different ways the emotions of a young child. I don't want to go too far. After a few chapters comes hydrangeas. I don't know how many of you are familiar with hydrangeas. As a gardener, I am very familiar with hydrangeas, but yet I did not know the meaning of the flower in poetry or in this. Hydrangeas comes in many colors, and they change colors also. Anyway, I said, what exactly does she mean by hydrangeas? Hydrangeas symbolizes a whole variety of emotions. Blue hydrangeas, I am told, symbolizes apology, frigidity. White one, boasting and bragging. Purple, desire to deeply understand someone. In fact, hydrangeas are supposed to reflect a whole range of emotions, and hydrangeas is the title which she has given for the chapter, for the set of, I wouldn't say chapter, for the set of poems which express the emotions of an adult. An adult has a whole variety of emotions which are expressed by the simple word hydrangea. I learnt a lot after reading these poems. I learnt a lot about flowers which I had not learned in my 40 or 50 years of gardening. I learned the symbolism of flowers. I learned how nicely one could organize the emotions starting from childhood to old age. In fact, it ends, the last flower that she describes is a lotus. Peace. Remarkable for the work that she has done. I am sure that every one of you will find reading this a real experience. For me, it was not a real experience only. Not being a poet, not knowing much about it, I nevertheless found it an experience and a piece of education on flowers. Thank you all very much for listening to this long conversation.
Thanks to ruminate.
It truly comes from the heart, as she says.
It's there in the fan. Be careful, Betsy. Okay. Come, it's there in the fan.
Lata, the first copy is supposed to be signed by the author. You have signed unsigned copies. They have to be properly authenticated.
Forms to extremely humble. Forms to remain. I never thought of forms to remain. Forms to remaining. Remaining.
Any book we purchase here has to have your signature.
Pena vanna nandaren.
Oh, yeah, same here.
Usually the pen is also supplied by the author.
Only pen? We don't want more than that. We want book with her signature only.
Thank you so much. Okay, my friend. No, I got it.
I think this can now be removed. Yeah.
You will share now.
I love.
Okay, 1 minute. Okay, now I next invite Joy ma'am for speaking about this book. I think already Sarah shared some words about her. One thing that I like in her, she's the sweetest person that I have ever come across. Very sweet enough, See, she's one of the few women who have occupied, the stature of vice president in some of the medias in South India. We might look, she might look very common here, but the place that she holds is really, really, big chair. With this thing, I welcome ma'am to share a few words about this book.
Thank you.
And there are two books that she had edited it for Father Joe actually. And these two books are both are poetry collections actually. She can recite some of the poems actually. She had gone through each and every poems, and after reading these poetry collections, she has love for poetry separately. And that is how I think she's easily accepted, readily accepted to review this book also, I suppose.
I think before that I should read one beautiful poems which I found in this book. Yeah, and the names which you have chosen is amazing.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
as I please, life is fun. Yeah, to your friend, and then blessings to rare. So this is a small poems I found which is very interesting. As humans, we are special. To admire, to share God's brilliant creative fare. Yet we often forget that to live thankfully is a blessing we have so very rare. I really loved it. I think we have to give her a big round of applause for this wonderful, so content it is. And then another poem. And just now I've got this book and I was going through and working by their book. I was blaming others for their selfish actions, holding them as accused from my expectation. I was self centered as them in my passions. If not, would I blame them for my reactions? This world that I hold in my own vision of outlook, sadly, I never realized all work by their book. This is something like very touching, and I think daily, what to say, every day we can find some or other people, like self-centered or, with lots of complaining.
Precisely.
Yeah. I really love it.
Thank you so much, Josie. I think I've known you for so long. I don't
Oh
know why.
God.
On
I,
site,
I,
you
I
know,
really want
I
to
have-
give you a big hug for this wonderful
Thank you.
book.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you came.
And thank you so much for the invite. Yeah.
No. I'm eternally grateful to you for coming here,
Yeah.
Holding such a, big position. But
No.
still, she's so down to earth.
Heart of the Lotus. Really loved it. And the creative, which is very interesting.
All these creations, all these illustrations were done by Olivan and Steve.
It's really wonderful.
Olivan and Steve.
We can see, normal
definitely.
lotus
So
flower
because of
everywhere,
how he has,
but this
gone
is
to
something.
his next appointment.
You can thank him. It's in YouTube live only.
Sure.
It's very tough.
He concluded with the thanks.
Yeah.
Lot of thanks.
And one more, I found it. See, heart of a wildflower. I think there is a wildflower,
In everybody, in all of
I
us.
felt like, right? This is also like very impressive. Yeah, heart of a wildflower, might of growth.
Might of growth. Yeah.
Very,
In while we grow up, we are all like a wildflower, We
Yeah, yeah.
accept everything.
Sure,
We take
sure,
everything. Such
sure.
enthusiasm we have.
Sure. And Prem was telling me about talk about these two books, which I'm not an editor, or I never done this book publishing before. My parents are no more. I have lost them in a road accident. So Father Joseph is my mentor and foster father. And 2 years ago, he gave me his laptop. And I said, baby, it's not working. I do not know why. And then I said, okay, evening I'll come. I'm a little busy now. And evening I'll come and see what is this exactly. So evening, he's a priest. He's a Catholic priest, a 71-year-old. So evening I went there and took the laptop and I said, I'll go and check at home leisurely. If straight away, if I give your system to, like Apple, they'll charge you bum.
Exactly.
You are a priest. You may not be able to afford that. So once I reached home, I started checking, and he doesn't know. He's not a techno savvy or anything. There are a lot of hundreds of files kept open. So I started,
One by
closing. We know that he'll write and he'll share, and he's a very good orator. He'll give a lovely, holy sermon. Well-known teacher. He was in Montfort, and then finally I found a lot of poems, thousands of poems,
My.
thousands of poems, and I was wondering why all this. So who has written? Then I can see his name also on the bottom with date. So I copied everything in a short story. I'll say, copied everything, and then given the system to father, and then I started searching a publisher. Then that's why I landed up in Olivan and sir. We have a common friend, Professor Chitra. She said, go and meet Mr. Olivan. The same story I shared with him, and he was quite impressed. And on his 70th of birthday, I have given us a surprise gift.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. This is a story of, and then there is almost 3,000 poems are there.
My goodness.
So we have done only 2 books as of now. Yeah, third book also we are going to publish very soon with the help of Mr. Olivan. This is the short story. I never knew about publishing or what to say, distribution or going and marketing books or
Yes,
nothing.
yes,
I was
nothing to that.
nothing. I was not. So second book I have given again as a surprise gift to him on his ordination day.
Wow.
Yeah, last April. So this is what, whenever I get little time in the late evening, I'll sit and edit. Then I'll give to Prem. Prem is there.
It's outside.
Prem, the credit, half of the credit goes to you for the. Yeah, so he's the one person. Joyce ji later on I met. Prem is the one person I think I've chewed your brain, for each and everything I was calling, like, Prem, what is this, what is this, what is this, like that. So thank you so much, Prem. Yeah. Yeah. So I can only do this, work and behind the screen. I'm not an orator.
No.
Yeah.
You have given a wonderful example of how a person should be.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Spoken spectacularly.
Yeah, I
Thank
know.
you.
And from the heart. That is more important, Not something just for speaking.
It's quite naturally.
Naturally, yes.
Words are flowing like river.
Exactly.
river water.
And it shows such a wonderful person she is at heart,
Agree.
going there, finding out those poems and gifting it to him. It needs a really big heart to do that.
So the books are available as of now in Amazon and Flipkart also. So, yeah, here also it's available. Yeah. So we, what to say, a person at the age of 70, he's become a poet. That's what. And there was an
No, he's
headmaster.
written,
here.
actually. You have made him a poet.
That's true. Actually.
Yeah. And a lot of
You would have
reviews.
imagined it, but for her.
Yeah. So this is what
So
my
that is the
small
greatest
sharing.
gift you would have got in his life.
He was feeling very special. Actually.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity to be with, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Thank
So, yeah.
I must first thank Mr. Olivannan for organizing all this, accepting my poems and publishing it. He has a really big heart. And yes, I could instantly connect with him, his charming smile. And something I really admired in him is his time management. He has been a Rotary Club district governor. He runs workshops for people. He's got a book review every Saturday and Sunday. I think every second of his life is spent in something useful, So when he actually, it so happened that I was writing poems all my life. Just like that, I used to write it and throw it off. I had old diaries with me, So I used to write it in that. And I never imagined that I would ever publish it. So it was for my pastime. So whatever I felt, actually, when we go through life, we go through so many experiences that it transforms into words, thoughts, and expressions as poems. So that's how this came about to be. Then after my retirement, I actually started writing full-fledged. During my office days, I couldn't. When I was working, I just couldn't find the time. I couldn't balance both home and office. I had to work around 10 to 12 hours, and that really drained me out. At one point of time, I had to choose between my career or my daughter and my health. So I chose the latter. So I was actually happy doing it. Then when I gave my letter for voluntary retirement, one of my bosses called me. He told me, "What are you going to do, madam? You've got a long way to go. Why do you want to retire now? You've got almost more than 7 years of service left." Then I told him, "No, sir, I have to choose now. I don't want to continue anymore. It's not career that is important. My daughter and my family is more important to me." So when he told me, "What are you going to do the whole day? You're going to see serials, you're going to eat, sleep, gossip. This is what you're going to do, as all the other women do." I said, "No, I'm not going to do that, sir. I'll do something useful with my time." Then when I went home after my retirement, I had all the time to enjoy the small, small things of life which was missing all my years, my working years, actually. I could look at the sky, enjoy the rain, see the trees, dripping with dewdrops and raindrops. I could hear the birds chirping in the morning. All these filled me with joy, actually. Every bit of it I enjoyed. I used to go for walks, see the flowers blooming. So these were joys that I really missed. It was just work, work all the time, no time to play. It was like that for me. So I remembered Robert Frost's poem, have no time to sleep. No, Robert Frost's time. I have far to go before I sleep. I have far to go before I sleep. I have no time to stand and stare. I've got far to go. And that is exactly what reflected in my mind, at those times. அதுக்கப்புறம் slowly I started writing and keeping diaries after diaries of those poems. And then finally one day it so happened that I sent a few poems to my WhatsApp group, my friend's WhatsApp group. Then one of my friends, she said, "Usha, my school friend, my old school friend," she said, "Why didn't you publish it?" I said, "I know no publisher. So I'm not aware of any publisher who will publish. I don't even know whether it is good." So she said, "Okay, I'll try to find out." Then in the meantime, she called up her friend, and then she gave me a couple of publishers' names, and one was Mr. Olivannan's name. And I liked his name very much, It filled me with light sort of thing, Olivannan, அது ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது எனக்கு. என்னமோ மனசு ஃபுல்லா என்னமோ லைட் ஃபில் பண்ண மாதிரி இருந்தது கேட்டப்போ. So I contacted him. காண்டாக்ட் பண்ணப்போ he was such a sweet person, you know, humble to the core. அவ்வளோ நல்லா பேசிட்டு இருந்தாரு. He said, okay, you send a couple of your poems, I'll see. Then அனுப்பிச்சிட்டு இவர் எங்க அக்செப்ட் பண்ண போறாருன்னு சொல்லிட்டு விட்டேன். 2-3 மாசம். Then I asked my daughter and my son-in-law, they said, எவ்வளோ என்னெல்லாமோ அந்த இது வெப்சைட்ஸ் ஆர் வாட் எவர் யூ கால் இட், யூனோ, அந்த ஆன்லைன் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கு, வே யூ கேன் ரைட் யுவர் போயம்ஸ், யூனோ, மீடியம், த போய்ட்ரி, அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. வை டோன்ட் யூ ரைட் இட் ஓவர் தேர்? ஸோ ஐ ஸ்டார்டட் ரைட்டிங் தேர். 2-3 ஐ ஸ்டார்டட் ரைட்டிங் தேர். அண்ட் ஐ காட் some good reviews, some people followed, and that increased my, self-confidence. So after about 3 months, Mr. Olivanan contacted me and said, yes, I'm prepared to publish your poetry. You send it to me. I was just thinking, am I hearing it right? I don't know. Is it worth it? So then I told my daughter, she edited the whole thing, I had just written it, oru kuppa mari potu vechunda actually. So the whole thing, she edited it and gave it to me. And then the front and the back cover, they both, my son-in-law and my daughter, they designed it. And actually last year she had come for a holiday from Canada. And then I made her sit and do all the editing of my poetry. I think she couldn't go anywhere. She was just sitting and editing the whole day. So actually my son and my daughter-in-law and my daughter and my son-in-law, they are my strength, my both eyes and my both arms actually, as of now. So I came down to Olivanan. He said, okay, we'll publish it. And then he's arranged the whole thing. I have to thank him and his team, for arranging everything from top to bottom. Even then, guest Mari, I'm just sitting here, everything he has arranged. So actually, this set of poems, it's actually the petals, the colors, the fragrance. It all, it's really beautiful, And for life, actually, our emotions, the experience that we have, our expressions, that makes it meaningful, actually. Life has to be lived meaningfully. So I combined these both. And like what I was supposed to say, Sri Kashi Iyer, he has told me, the meaning of every flower. So that's how I wanted to bring it about, All our experiences, they transform into feelings. And then they come out as our expressions, our poems, our words. So this is how I became a writer, actually. And I don't know if I'm a writer, but I dedicate this to all the people whom I know in my life who have been valuable to me. And I'm grateful to each and every person who has been a strong force in my life to be where I am now. My sister, my cousin sister, my brother-in-law, my friends. One of my friends has come all the way from Coimbatore for this book launch. So I have to thank so many people for where I am now. And especially my Peripa, I have to thank him. He has such great words. He's such a humble person in spite of all his achievements in his life. He's such a down-to-earth, humble person that I will always be grateful to him for everything that I learned from him. My humble namaskarams at your feet. And thank you. I thank everybody who is watching in YouTube. My friend who has come all the way from Sydney for this book launch. So I thank each and every person who's been, my friend from US, and she has told her daughter who is in New York. So they are watching in YouTube. My daughter and son-in-law, they're watching from Canada. So there are so many people watching from so many people. I'm so blessed, I feel at times, to know so many good people in my life who have been, as, strong threads of my life, actually. So thank you from my heart. I thank Joy Cooper for coming here. I'm so connected to her. I don't know how. And
here.
my humble namaskarams at my Shikasha Ayer's feet. Humble namaskarams to all the elders here who have come here to support me, to encourage me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
அவ்வளவுதான், இது
To
எழுதுறது.
honor, honor.
Oh.
Whom should I invite to honor, sir?
You. Him.
Feel free, no? Come this side.
You. Akka vara.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessed.
Such a sweet person she is, huh?
All the best. Thank you.
ஊத்தல வேண்டாம் கையிலே கொடுத்துருங்கோ. I don't want to be embarrassed.
And blessings for all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All will have coffee. Buy man's book.
Marketing. Yes, please. Thank you so much.
There is some word called no serendipity.
Coffee.
That's what,
Coffee, coffee.
No coffee.
Mr. Olivan and ma'am and
If you don't mind.
you know, kind of a familiar
No, ஒரே நிமிஷம். I'll come down.
feel like the family.
நான் வச்சுக்கிறேன் தாங்கோ. I'll bring you. வாஷ்ரூம் இருக்கப்பா. Thank you. கொடுங்கோ நான் வச்சுக்கிறேன். வரேன். ஏய் ஜாய்சி. ஜாய்சி வேற மறந்து போய். কোথায় যাচ্ছ? বই কিনবি না?
Jelly கூத்த தெரியல.
சரி